Welcome back. This is Mr. Hassan's Maths channel. I'm answering a question from one of the older papers from October, November 2018. This is paper 2, variant 1 from the IGCSE Cambridge 0580 syllabus. This question is about simple interest. And here we're told that Jan invests $800 at a rate of 3% per year simple interest. Calculate the value of her investment at the end of 4 years. So in our straight away should come to mind the equation for simple interest, which is I equals P RT over 100. See the word simple interest? Okay, the word simple interest, okay, that should bring this equation into your mind. It's different from compound interest. This is simple interest. So here, this equation will help us help us with the answer, not give us the final answer, but help us with the answer. So we need to find how much extra she's going to get when she puts the money into this investment. So this will tell us the extra. We want to find the total new investment. Okay, so we're going to find our answer here and add it to 800 to give us a final answer. Okay, however, let's find I first. So first of all, what does P, R, and T mean? Well, P is the principal, the amount that is invested. Okay, so P here is the amount that's invested, which is $800. So P is $800. And R is the interest rate. So that's going to be 3. Okay, the 100 takes care of the percent there. And T is the time in years, which is 4 years. Okay, 4 years. So we have to basically now put these values into this formula, and we got the extra, the interest. So the interest is 800 multiplied by 3%, 3 multiplied by 4 divided by 100. And that's going to give you, that's 12 times 8. 12 eighths are 96. Okay, let's just make sure of that. So we have 800 times 3 times 4 divided by 100. Right, that's 96 cents. So that's $96 is the extra amount. So that means the value of her new investment is going to be 96 plus 800. That's how much she had in the beginning plus the extra. So it's $896. If the question said find the interest earned, it would be 96. Okay, so you have to be careful about that. You have to make sure you read the question carefully with this. Now, if this was compound interest, then we have a totally different way of dealing with it, a totally different formula. And that formula will give us the new amount. Okay, if it was, imagine this was compound interest. Let's say I just changed this question slightly just to give you an idea if it was compound interest. So this is not the actual question asked. This is a different question. So I'm just doing this just for the sake of you understanding what to do when we're dealing with compound interest. So I'm going to just imagine it was compound interest. So this is like my own extra part that I've added to it now. Supposing it said, instead of simple interest, it said compound interest. Then what we do is there's a formula again that we can learn, which I'll show you how to use the formula first, and I'll show you how to do it without that. But the formula is V equals the initial investment, which is P, times 1 plus R over 100 to the power of n. Okay, so this is the compound interest formula. So basically your P is your investment, which is 800, and your R is the rate, which is 3, and your n is the number of years. So this will give us a different answer because it's not the same type of interest. This will give you actually a bigger answer in most cases. 800, and you have 1 plus 3 over 100, and that's all to the power of 4. That's to the power of 4, and that gives you 900.407. 900.407. So that would be 900.40 in dollars. That would be the answer if we asked to find compound interest. We use this formula here. This is where the interest is compounded. Like it's the new amount is based upon every year the interest is worked out on the end of the last year's balance, whereas over here it's always worked out on the original amount. So it's always 3% of 800 that is added every year. Here it's 3% of the last amount. So basically the quick way of doing this question here, or not the quick way, the way without using a formula is that you take the original amount, which was 800, and you say, okay, that's going to be increased by 3%. So 3% means 100 plus 3%, okay, which is 103%, which is 1.03. So you put times 1.03 to the power of the number of years that it's going to change or increase, which is 4, and that will give you the answer. So that gives us the same thing as this, basically. So you have 800 times 1.03 raised to the power of 4, and that gives you the same exact answer. Okay, 900.40. That's how you increase something over a certain number of years by a certain percentage. And that would also work with percentage decrease. If something's decreasing by a certain percentage every year, you do 100 minus the amount it decreases by. So if it's decreasing by 3% every year, it'd be 100 minus 3%, so it would be 0.97 to the power 4, and that would decrease it 4 times, basically, over 4 steps. So that's just a little summary of some, exponential questions here. Exponential questions are when we're dealing with compound interests, and exponential, this is different. This is simple interest, so this is the actual answer to the question. Okay, I just diverged a little bit just to give you a bit more background into interest. And the thing that's very important is that the compound interest formula tells you the whole new balance. It doesn't tell you the extra, whereas this simple interest formula tells you just the extra amount. The 96 is just the extra amount. To find the new investment, the whole new amount of money that's in the account, you have to add the original amount. Whereas here, the compound interest formula tells you the complete new amount, including the extra and the original together. So if the question was with compound interest and you had to find the interest only, you would have to take away from this amount the original amount, and they'll tell you the extra. So those are some points, important points about simple interest, and I added a bit about compound interest in there just for your information. So I hope that was clear. This question was requested for me to answer by one of the students, so I went into a bit more detail. Thank you for watching. Other questions, if I do get to answer them from this paper, will be in the playlist that will appear over here. Other questions from this topic of simple interest, and I'll put it in the it's going to be in the percentages. It will be in the percentages playlist, which will be you can find over here. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking on this link. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.